Hello everyone, welcome back to FX Spiders. This is the video y'all have been waiting for. This is the this is the Ruby system trading video where I talk about all my rules, my three rules. Okay, I've got three rules. So if you watched the previous video where I just showed you a peek of how my rule is, so make sure you watch it so you understand this more. So I'm going to do the same thing I did in the previous video, just a random PL. Let me just go to Forex. PI don't trade and use the system. Something really weird. I don't see any weird here actually. It's all familiar. But let me just choose something I've never looked at before. This NZD, GBP NZD. Hopefully. Yeah, I know. Never looked at it before. So, when I look at currencies actually, I don't really go this far, but it's okay. So let me use my rule-based system. Sorry, let me put this blocks later. Rule-based system. So I've got three rules. So number one, as I said, is structure. Liquidity and bias. Two, in fee efficiency. Supply and demand zones. And three, this is where we look for entry, Wyckoff, uh, Mauritians, or shift in structure. Structure will actually be on the lower time frame. Hope you understand. So this is my drill based for structural liquidity and bars. That is the first step to get to like this. Let me make this more official. So I guess yep. So this is my rule based system. I've got three rules: structural liquidity and bars, inefficiency, which is imbalance and supply and demand. Then supply and demand first before inefficiency, so don't get this wrong. So either Wyckoff confirmation or shift the structure. So let's use all these informations to actually analyze. So this is the Great British Pound New Zealand dollar. First we look at structure, and this is what structure. This is it. We've got two types of structures. We've got the macro and the micro structure. So according to the macro structure, which is the big boy structure, this is what we are currently seeing. And from this point, we want to see a push towards the downside. So remember, before you look at liquidity, looking at liquidity, that means, so let's use this as the projected high. So this, I'm actually looking at liquidity right now. Yes, I'm looking at this. So let me just get this off there and put it somewhere here. It's safe there. So that is a protected one. And this also is a protected one. This is also a protected one. Sorry. And this is also a protected height. So let's just get rid of this. We already know where we are. So this right here was actually liquidity. Yeah, this right here was liquidity pro. And this is also liquidity swing. Oops, straight from my drawing. And this also is a liquidity swing. And we want to see the market trade below. So quite a good something. So let's go deeper now. And now we know where liquidity is. Liquidity is below. So since liquidity is below, where will our buyers be? Down. Because if you want to see the this liquidity being taken, right? So our buyers now is with the with the sellers. So let's get this, visible. We don't want it to be lost. I want us to follow this. So back to what we're saying. So what we normally do here is we look at what the price has been doing from the liquidity point to the protected low for the protected swing, sorry. And it's quite obvious the microstructure, the micro now. So listen to me, it's a micro. The microstructure is upward, it's moving upward. Let's push this one here. This, sorry, I forgot this, but it still counts. It doesn't actually matter. It doesn't actually matter. So this is where price is currently. Let me just adjust this a little bit. So perfect. So on this scenario now, this is so my focus will be on liquidity because this is structure inside this stem. So this was a spider zone. So this was a spider's range, and inside the spider's range, we want to look at structure and liquidity also. So this is this has been moving quite steady, and this is liquidity, and this is grab. This is liquidity pool. This is a liquidity pool. This is liquidity pool. This is liquidity pool. Sorry about my drawing. I'm really bad at this. Good. I still want to try. So this is liquidity pool, and it's got run. And this liquidity also got run, and finally this liquidity got run. So all this liquidity got run, and what is left? You don't know. So this was actually uh, the next liquidity, but that didn't happen. It now violated this protected low. That's what makes it a valid break of what a valid break structure. So let's get rid of this. So what will we be looking at now? The last down move, type of structure, and this is it. Why did I choose this? And I'll tell you now. This is when the other part of let's bring this closer. So SID zones, supply and demand zones. This is supply and demand zone. And why is it valid? Because it has inefficiency in it. So where's the inefficiency here? This is so let me get rid of this real quick and use this. So this and this. So this space in between them is actually imbalance and it needs to be filled. And above the imbalance, we've got the supply zones. Sorry. yes, supply zone, and it's perfectly tapped in and just traded below. So, uh, looking at inefficiency in supply and demand zone. So this is where now the entry comes in, confirmation. So this is there's a weekly time frame and it's way back. So we I cannot go much I cannot go to the 1 minute time frame to see what is happening. But let me just try. Let me just try. I can try for you guys. So let's see what happened inside our zone, because remember, what did I say? I said Wyckoff confirmation. Confirmation is still Wyckoff or shift in structure on the lower time frame. So let's see what happened here. This is a Wyckoff distribution of orders, distribution of orders into. So let me go deeper to see if it will be a little bit clear. Sorry. This is a zone. Oops. I'm kind of confused right now. Uh, okay. Sorry about this. So, alright, this is zone. This is the zone. So what happened? So prices came into our zone, did nothing much. There's massive rally leaving tons of imbalance that need to be filled. Sorry about this. And this massive rally didn't break any structure. So I believe I cannot locate this zone, but my entry could have been at the stop, because this, I don't know if you're getting this, and then, this is a different account and my replay tool is not activating because I didn't subscribe on this one, so my bad. So lo and behold, this could have been a nice break structure. I don't know if you've seen this. This is something I've been doing for months. So yeah, I'm pretty good at it. Sure, yeah, that's something I've been doing for years. Sorry, did I just say months? So I know that's a break structure and move back inside this S&D zones, inside into the demand zone. And you might be, I know people constantly ask me, hey, why do you use a week? This week in a much higher time, in a lower time frame, is definitely a candle. So yeah, it counts. So that couldn't be my entry, and that's just it. This is me using my three rule based system first: structure, liquidity, and bias. Two, inefficiency in supply and demand zones. Three is when we use that Wyckoff confirmations. So I don't want to talk about Wyckoff. Wyckoff will be another video on its own. And three, using Wyckoff, or shift instructions, whatever. So this is actually Wyckoff on overall, but still I still managed to use the shift structure, breaking the structure and going back inside my zone, and I got that move. So this is just the entry, and you know how to set your TP, right? You know where to take profit. So I guess let me just do a bonus for you guys, and maybe analyze and repair. Let's try something like, I thought to see, yes, what is this? USDCNH. What kind of currency is that? Is this the Chinese currency? I don't know. Actually, I don't. Yeah, I don't know what currency is that. So literally, I gotta be honest with you guys. I don't actually go to a very high time frame. So a daily time frame will be for me. I just need to zoom out to see clearly and see what's happening. So first looking at structure, I don't need to draw all this part too, but you gotta do it when you start, and it will help you a lot. So I don't need to do it, but obviously this is an option. And coming back here, that's the most important thing. And this is a protected high. And remember, a protected high is only protected if it has broken structure. That is a rule for me. That's how I set this. This is how I set everything. That's why I usually get little setups, because I understand how institutional order flow works. So this high is a valid protected high because it's broke structure. That's just how I see it, and that's how it's been working for me. I know some of you out there might say, "Nah, this isn't how it is," but this is how it's working for me. This is how I see it. This is how, and this is how I will continue to say it. So this is a protected high. This is liquidity pool. This is just understand the structure, liquidity, and having a bias that we want to sell. So this was the move downward, and this is just a pullback to maybe a supply zone here or here, then a continuation downward. And overall, just from this time frame, this is why off. And I'm gonna just leave it a little bit. I don't usually do stuff like that, but I'm going to do it today. So make it whatever you want. This is, let me just take this to maybe 12. It's 12. Okay, no, you want to say 20. Oh, that's big. So to the 4 hour time frame, so I can make it more possible. Yeah, I guess it's pretty good. So I might see this is my why. This is my last climax. I'm really slow, right? That was my fault. This is the ER means automatic already. Then the ST. Did I just do that? Okay. Wyckoff is very, very subjective. Some might see this. Some might see this as the PSY, the bias lemmas, or my body secondary test, and UT, which will make it phase two schematic. But I personally don't see that way. So it's subjective. You can see whatever, you can look at it in whatever way you can. So it doesn't matter. It's just subjective. So this will be my secondary test. I prefer this. But this, so secondary test. Secondary test is just creating liquidity. Whereas the liquidity, that's the work of the secondary test. In most cases, it's create liquidity, and it did. So after the secondary test, the UT cleared the liquidity in most cases. UT is the upper trust. The upper trust, that is UT. And the UTAT. Going above the UT. So I won't talk about the low right now. I'm not going to put anything below because this is a sign of weakness. So I just said it. And this is a sign of weakness in phase B. So I'm just talking about the high now. That's what's important. So what makes a UTAT valid? What validifies a UTAT is to break your structure. This is quite a perfect example of break structure, and you'll be looking for last down candle before the down move that broke structure. And lo and behold, this is a nice S&D zone. Why is this valid? Because it's got imbalance, this week to this week, so it's got imbalance in it. And you know what I'm saying. So this is just higher time frame, I guess. So from the zone now, you can still look at Y curve in, because the market is very fractal. This whole Y curve was on the 4 hour time frame. If we're to go very deep, because I can, okay, I actually can. In a 15 minute, we're still gonna see the same thing happening again and again and again and again and again. So that's how this works. That is a sport, right? So watch this. This is the preliminary supply automatic rally. Sorry, bias climax automatic rally. Secondary test creating liquidity, as you can see. So let me use my brush tool. I'm not really good at it, but I guess I practiced a lot. So this is a PSY. This is a secondary bias. Sorry, this is the bias climax. Oops, this is the automatic rally. Secondary test creating liquidity. Then the move above it, which is the UTAD, the UT, and the UTAD. Then the break structure. This is where it happens, and that's what validify UTAD break structure. Then the last up move before the down move, it's here, and you could have missed it, honestly. This is an example of how sometimes you don't get in the move, but still you've got OB 2.0s. You could enter anytime. You could get involved anytime. Sorry about this. You could get involved anytime. So you didn't get an opportunity here, you can look for opportunity here or here, and there's the demand zone. So that's how it is. Or anywhere you can get entry here, you can get an entry here. But I personally, if I miss the first OB, second OB, third OB, and just I give up. It is what it is. It definitely is. So this is just how everything works. Looking at Wyckoff in 4 hours, and now we go deep to see it very, because I told you it's very, very fractal. So make sure you're having a blessed week. And alright, in the previous video, I said I'm gonna make an announcement at the end of the video, and I forgot. So in this video, if you're still watching, here's the announcement. So the FX Riders Course 001 mentorship has, we've got price slice now 50%.